Okay, you hit my emergency thing.
Sorry. Something is not right there. I want to do that thing right.
Why is Hazaka behind me?
They switched somehow. I see some people on there. However, my phone is messing up, so I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do.
Take it out of that holder until you fix it.
Okay, good idea. Hang in there with us. We're not going to disappear. We are, however, going to fall on the floor, and this is not the way this thing should go. Okay, so what are we doing? No. Hi, Nina and B Principled and Matthew. And Ryan Hawk and Linda Hipple. Yes, see, it did this one time before, and it was wrong. And I don't know what's wrong, why it's doing that. Try it again. Nope.
Set on smart instead of
No, I switched it. I definitely switched it to auto-rotate. So this is within the actual live stream. Hey, Westfield Forge. Wow. C104 is packing new bearings on his trailer. And there is a Roger. Okay, what is going on there? Hello? Okay. That's not what we want.
You should ask if anyone can hear you.
You all can hear me though, right? You all can see me? Okay. Yeah, they can see and hear 5x5. Right, but it keeps telling me to rotate my device and that it's locked. But it's not locked. So, alright.
Well, they can see you, who cares?
Well, it won't hold in the holder that way, and I'll just have to do it this way. Oh, sorry, technical difficulties.
Well, what if you turn it sideways?
It says rotate device and it's locked. Yeah. YouTube, you stink. There's David Campbell, Shalom, and Aledwin Mayer, Shalom, and Alton Chatham. There's PJ in the driver's seat. There is Sister Kate in the riding seat. So, you have unlimited access to us. If you have any questions, there is the Patiable and Chell 5. Shalom, 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 shalom. Gather and grow. Shalom view from the bushes. It was my idea to do the live stream. It's easy for me when Pastor is driving. We are heading home. But I like to take advantage of just sitting in the moving car. I get bored easily. We were just discussing the history of Malacca, which is a port city in the Malaccan Straits in between Indonesia and Malaysia. That has a long, long history and has been started out as very primitive peoples, and then the Hindus came in, and the Chinese came in, and then the Muslims came in, and the Portuguese, and then the Dutch, and then the British. So it has a long, long history, and we're just talking about that, and the very primitive peoples that are sort of in an area around the world called the Pygmy Belt, including the Pygmies of Africa, who apparently are not genetically similar to the Pygmy people in Asia. And there are still tribes, groups, whatever you want to call them, of those people in places like the Philippines and Thailand and Malaysia even now. And it's interesting to me that a lot of their tribe names start with A. Hey, Shalom Chasing Life. I'm glad you did catch us live. The one's name is the AETA. One of them is ATI, just ATI. One of them is ASLI. I just find it interesting how those little tribes are named. Anyway.
Little tribes.
Pun intended. If I was baptized in a Catholic church when I was a child, should I get baptized again since coming to the way?
Because you were not baptized by immersion.
Yes, because you were not baptized by immersion, meaning you did not go fully under the water and come back out. PJ, what do you say to people who say you were wrong about Y2K? Why should we believe you about what you're saying about the times now?
Believe what you want. I don't care if you believe me or not.
And the thing about Y2K was it had a possibility of being very devastating, and there was a lot of work behind the scene to keep it from being devastating. And having been right in the middle of it as an adult, we came back to the States from being overseas, and I had to check in my military records and so on at our new facility. And when I got there, they said I was born in 1900. I said, yes, Campbell's soup.
Well preserved.
Yeah, Campbell's soup, well preserved. I look really fantastic for being 100 years old. And what had happened was that computer had that glitch. So theoretically, it could have gone that way, and luckily it didn't. There were still some problems.
It's all legal.
And there looks like there's a fire up there.
Yeah, there's a big one over there.
There were problems, but people took care of it. Banks didn't want that to happen, and so there were a lot of little tech people, and they're doing their tech magic, trying to change things so the computers wouldn't crash. Armazi, Norm says. I don't know about Armazi.
That's probably one of those tribes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember reading that particular name. I said the ones I just read, but it could be them too. We are living the concerns for the current times. Exactly right, Chasing Life. Y2K was a test of your preparedness. Nothing wrong with tests, says Moonlight. And your prepping can come in handy for more than just devastating global problems. They can come in very handy for even just your local problems, like say if you lived on the southern coast of Louisiana now and you're welcoming your 5th hurricane out of 13 hurricanes this weather system, or if you lost your job because your city, state, whatever locked down and your workforce cut back on the number of people they could afford to keep on the books. Your preps can be useful for that. Or if you have a health problem and you need a surgery and you have to recover over a month or 2 or 3 months. So, yeah, Moonlight, good point. Stupid work wanting me to do stuff. I'm trying to watch YouTube. That's Westhold. I know. So annoying. So annoying. Engineer 268, hello, my preps just mean I have far more options than most. Yes, and preps allow you to help other people, which I've seen other YouTube creators talk about that in some of their videos lately, and also people commenting on that your preps don't have to be just for you. If you have enough of them, you can then bless other people. Let's see what else. Using the stuff we got, more people on board, putting back food because it's also a prep for losing a job that seemed like a bonus to some people. Exactly. So weird our neighbors are asking us about preps and what's happening now. That is kind of interesting, Pharma, because you're kind of out there, right? You're kind of rural. So what are they looking at that's causing them to do that? What qualifications do I need to find in someone for them to baptize me correctly?
I don't want to talk about that.
Pastor says he doesn't want to talk about that right now.
Concentrate on drugs.
He's trying to concentrate on drugs.
Basically, they have to be a believer.
Yeah, basically you just need another believer who can baptize you in the name of Yeshua, fully immersed. Okay. So, chance for you guys to ask questions. Otherwise, I'm going to go into my next topic.
Your diatribe?
My next diatribe, yes. My next pouring forth of ideas. I can't see what I'm typing. Sorry, what I wrote looks odd. Westhold, why can't you see it?
Drinking on the job?
Always recommended. What Canadian government corrupt pharma? Because I don't know that much about that.
I have an awesome prime minister.
You have an awesome prime minister. He looks really good in photos. I know that Jordan Peterson was making quite a big hullabaloo about the gender transforming names and how he was refusing to call a ziz a this and a z. That's about all we know right now. Vax is a DNA modifier. Haven't done much research on that, Norm. Not sure about that. I was talking about...
Could be. Certainly could be.
Could be. The virus definitely is. The virus genetically mutates. I was talking about vaccines. Oh, look. That's a little pony outside his fence. Next to a highway. I was talking about vaccines with Pastor today because I've benefited from vaccines my whole life. I've had all sorts of accidents happen to me with cuts and bruises and stitches and rusty nails, rusty metal, barbed wire fences. And so I've gotten a tetanus shot a lot, even as an adult. We have traveled internationally, both of us together and at separate times, and gotten lots of vaccinations for that overseas travel. Yellow fever, cholera, typhoid, meningitis, plague, and never gotten sick. So I don't necessarily see vaccinations as evil. I see them as a blessing of modern medicine, and I have benefited from them greatly. Oh, and rabies. I've had rabies shots too. So that's my take on vaccinations. Now, about the one upcoming, I don't trust things that haven't had a little bit of time testing. So I'm waiting to see. Pharma says the WE charity scandal. Don't know what that is either. What's WE? What alert level is Pastor Joe at currently?
Slightly heightened.
Slightly heightened.
Very watching. Very observant.
Yes, we're in watching mode, as we have been for a while. Watching and gardening and doing the things mode. I'm a little bit higher than that because the vid is spiking so much. I've gone back to wearing gloves in public because I don't think it's a hoax. I think it's real, and there should be, people should take precautions. Okay, Gather and Grow says, what's new for the homestead in the next year? We are changing our gardening beds, formations. I've showed you.
Houses,
yeah, we're going to make hoop houses out of our A-frame tunnels that we had before, which worked decently. But hoop houses, we think, will be easier for us to move around in and more effective for growing things and keeping animals out. So that's one change. We have the sawmill. The sawmill is up and running now. We will be actively using that sawmill whenever is necessary. There's Brother Alex. Shalom, Brother Alex. I don't want it until a few years after. I want to see what it does first. That's exactly where I am, Westhold. I hope that I'm not going to need to get it before then, that it's not that bad, and that I can continue to quarantine. Hey, John Ray, how you doing? Shalom. Hey, John, I took that class from my friend, and now I know how to do sorghum, so I'm super excited. And I saw your comment and your photo about the sorghum you all did. I want to do a bit biodome for our turkeys. No idea what they are yet, but friends of ours are going to help us build one. Awesome. James C. says, afternoon, y'all. Yes, cattle panels are amazing, says Gavin Grow. I also have a plan to expand the goat shelter that we have now. We've already had 2 baby goats.
Build real buildings for them.
Yeah, real shelter, and we've already had 2 babies born, and have 2 other nanny goats who are pregnant. If they're not pregnant now, they will be soon, and we'll be kidding. So our herd is going to grow.
You're just kidding?
Just kidding.
JK.
Is it unconstitutional for states to mandate masks and vaccines? If so,
It has
why?
not been tested in court.
Pastor says it has not been tested in court. The way I understand it, it is constitutional because it's in the interest of public health, and that the CDC has already legal powers to do things if they think there's a big public health problem.
But in the Ozarks, they're not making people wear masks.
And so the states do mandate, they say, hey, we want everyone to start doing this. But a mandate is not the same as an actual legal, you will or we can prosecute you situation. I spoke about this in the past. The CDC has the right, the power to keep people in custody for up to 3 days before deciding what they're going to do with them. For instance, you're a super spreader. They figure that out. They have the right to come nab you and hold you for up to 3 days before they decide what they're going to do with you.
Are they going to bring an army?
Are they going to quarantine you? Are they going to hospitalize you? Are they going to just tell you to go home and quarantine yourself? They have three days, and that's a power of theirs. All right, let's see. All right. Hello, Gardner 67. Less than 2 weeks until we are off of grid full time, says Anthony Jensen. Well, let us know what you think about it. That's pretty exciting. I just built an animal shelter with pallets and cattle panels. Very affordable option, says Sugar Creek Homestead, Tennessee. You are for the goats out of the little IBC totes, but I think Pastor and I would like something a little bit bigger and a little bit more sturdy. Have you guys ever considered getting sheep?
Yeah, we're getting sheep in the spring.
Someone's giving us some sheep in the spring. I saw your pictures of your forest sheep, ton forest, isn't that what you guys said? I think they're really cool. I'd like to have that breed, but I think what we're getting are Dorper Katahdin mixes. Any law that does not originate in the legislature is not a valid law. Whether we adhere to the Constitution is another issue entirely. Right, so there's a difference between a mandate and a law. There are people down the road from me that have 20 to 30 mini goats. I can never catch anyone home to try and buy 2 to 3. Leave them a note. We both said the same thing, Westhold. Leave them a note with contact info. Oregon is being shut down again starting on Wednesday, says Gather and Grow.
What is?
Oregon.
What does that mean, being shut down?
What does it mean, Gather and Grow, to be shut down in Oregon? California is also shutting down. We have a mask mandate, but they are exceptions, and you don't have to tell them why you can't wear a mask due to privacy laws. Is martial law required to suspend some rights?
No.
No. Okay. Norm says his body is sovereign. I meant restaurants. Whoa. I just lost my comments. Not all of Oregon. Okay, restaurants in Oregon. And there's, the top 4 reasons that the COVID is being spread: gyms, restaurants, churches.
Says who?
And what other thing?
Says who?
Sugar Creek, our local hardware store gives us free used pallets. Try checking out places like that. Thank you for the responses. Lunchtime's just about over. Safe travel. Thank you. Hey, Lynn Wilkerson. Clun Forest. That's the one. Clun Forest sheep. I really like the look of them. Ohio is being shut down gradually now. Something gone every day this week. Lunch is over, says Mark. Back to C103. Back to axle grease. Thanks for the chat. Keep rubber side up. Thank you.
Keep the rubber side down.
Rubber side down. Champ du Soleil. Hey, Sister Kate. Hey, sister, how are you? Are you now a full-time employee? Norm says son got 5 sick a deer today. That sounds like a lot of butchering. My mom and dad just both tested positive. They're quarantining at their cabin. I'm sorry, Lynn. I'm sorry. It's very, very concerning. We recently were praying hard for people very close to us who had to get tested. Praise Yah, the test came back negative.
I think we had it in December. I really do.
We haven't been tested yet, but it's possible we did have it last December. But my concern for anyone who gets it, I know it's a very low serious case. Yeah, very low mortality, very low percentage of cases that turn really serious. But it concerns me when anyone has it, because you don't know if you're going to be one of those people or not. Sometimes it's very young, healthy people who, get it one day and die a couple of days later. Sometimes it's very young people who have serious side effects, mental problems, blood vessel problems. And so, Glenn, I'm very, very sorry. Okay. Good afternoon, says B-Ski. Good afternoon. Not till a week from Monday. Okay. Well, if I think of anything that I need help with, I will give you a text there, Champ, if that's okay with you. Thank you, everyone. Take care. God bless. Have to go back to chores. Thanks for swinging by, Miss Linda. Crazy Canuck says, hey, brother and sister. Champ says, put me to work. All right, we'll give that serious thought, because we got projects coming up. That is what I've been saying to people. You just don't know for sure how it will affect any one person, right? And they're saying, generally speaking, if you have type A blood, your chances for serious side effects are increased.
Hey.
If you have type O, your chances for side effects are decreased. If you're overweight, it's very, very likely you're going to have problems, because it affects the respiratory system. And so being overweight means your respiratory system is already under stress, and this just makes it worse. This is my dad's second time testing positive. Pray for both, but especially my dad. It makes me really nervous. And so if he's tested positive twice, the way I understand it, because I try to read and pay attention to articles being posted about it. One of the less or more serious strains the first time, and the other one, if it was, more the first time, then the second one would be the less serious, or vice versa.
Elon Musk took 4 tests in like 4 hours, and 2 of them were positive and 2 of them were negative. Come on.
It's also possible that the tests or the test results are being tampered with, because the tests and results are being done by private organizations who may have a financial interest in, the more positives that they report, the more money the state will give them. And there are 2 different kinds of tests. One tests for antibodies, which means you've already had it, and one tests for, I forget what it is, blood serum or basically whether you've been exposed but can't necessarily say if you had it or not, kind of. So, you know, Lynn, just keep praying, and they should get as much rest as they can, drink fluids, take vitamin C and D, and cough medicine and anti-inflammatory meds. That's my recommendation. There's Matt Kelt. Shalom. What you got going on, brother? You're always busy. My sister has the Charlie Victor 19er. She's okay, but it's weird. Comes in waves. She's a nurse that looked after patients and got it. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Sean. As a nurse, though, I'm sure she knows the kind of things she should be doing to take care of herself. But yeah, I feel for her, and for you too, because I'm sure you're probably concerned about it. According to the news up here, there has been no reported cases of flu in Alberta since September. Looks like we have cured the flu. Lots of COVID, though. You know, we talked about that recently also, and my theory about not as many cases being reported is, one, at least for us down here, many flu spreaders are little kids all getting together in the fall.
Little germ factories.
They've been out running around all summer long, and they all now getting closed in a classroom, and my children who are teachers reiterate this. In the opening few weeks of school, they get sick every year because the kids are all together and, you know, blowing their noses and sneezing and everything, and she gets sick every year. So when you take them out and those kids have to stay home and, you know, virtual school and can't gather with other little kids, I think that's part of it. I know people here were saying, yeah, the flu disappeared. No, it didn't. Now its numbers are down, but you've also got a lot more people washing their hands and wearing masks. So, you know, hallelujah. I mean,
or if someone has the flu, they report it as COVID.
Maybe that's it too. Don't know. Not sure. Just canned chicken soup. Canned chicken and beef over the weekend, making
That's
more
good.
cheese this weekend. Good job, Mad Cal. I knew you had something going on. PJ Elon Musk has a fantastic thread with regard to his tests, posted by epidemiologist Michael Mina, I believe it is. It's pretty interesting info. You guys may like to read it. From what my wife read, the protein receptors are largely making it more communicable, hopefully trending toward getting less deadly. The word here is projected 35,000 deaths in the next 3 weeks, which would be an increase because we've had very small percentage mortality rate here. Champ said they're cute little petri dishes. They are. They're adorable. Just makes you want to go up and hug them. North Scotland has very few real cases. Hey, Aid, how you doing? Much love, sister and PG. I got to go bring a load of wood in. Dropped down last night to 32 degrees, 47 today. Going to be 26 tonight, so I'm building up hot coals.
64 today here.
Gradually through the day, getting ready for it. Good job, Gardner. My dad is but he had it in May and then tested negative. And now, whoa, hey, no, don't do that. And just got tested because my mom tested positive and she is having worse symptoms, and thank you. Yeah, she may have caught, because I think it was Fauci said earlier, like maybe a month ago, that there was a more virulent strain from Europe. The one that was ripping through Spain and Italy earlier in the year was one of the strains that now hit us and was causing some of the spikes. So it is possible she got that one, and that your dad had the mild version and he got that one too. Farmaw's canning pumpkin tomorrow. Awesome. Good job, you guys. What is your opinion of guinea fowl? I have 4 that I will be taking to the off-grid home with us. I like them.
It tastes like pheasant.
They taste like pheasant. Their eggs are very nutritious, and they're good alarm birds. They eat a lot of bugs.
And they're annoying as hell.
They're generally good all-around fowl for your homestead. Some of the males can be aggressive towards your chickens and your roosters, but you can always keep them in a separate pen. We gave away our 2 because we only had 2 males left and they were being very aggressive towards the other birds. But in general, I like them a lot. All right, I've had a number of friends and family test positive completely asymptomatic, says D-Neck.
Why get tested if you're asymptomatic? That doesn't make sense to me.
Maybe for work, everyone had to. I don't know. B-Ski, mandatory testing for everyone entering or returning to Pennsylvania. And I think there's...
Boy, who's making money on that?
One of the other states, Texas, Kansas. There's one of the Midwest states who's now requiring anybody from out of state to quarantine for 14 days.
How are they going to enforce that?
I don't think they're enforcing it yet. They're just like having a sign at the border. Okay, so wait a minute. It makes sense to see more positive cases. It's basic math. There go those hopes. I'm not trying to squish people's hopes. I'm not trying to be the voice of gloom and doom.
Hope squisher, gloom and doomer.
I'm trying to be a voice of reality so we can see the danger and hide ourselves from it. Nico Locke says Michigan is going back on lockdown tomorrow. However, while high school and colleges are going virtual learning, K through 8 remaining in person. I think the reason some states are staying with the kids, the younger kids going to school, is that they don't seem, quote unquote, to get it as seriously or as often. But the danger there is when they bring it back home and then they give it to their parents or grandparents or aunts. Abuela, aunts and uncles, people like that. That's that family spread. That is one of the reasons it's spiking so much now, is people going out places, getting it and bringing it home and giving it to their whole family. All right. Pharma says no guineas, and there's the lamp keeper. Shalom, shalom. Get ducks instead, says Pharma. No way to enforce it. Dropping off. Take care and see you soon. Okay, good to hear from you. Frank Pesci. Hey, Frank and Viv here. Shalom. How you guys doing? We think we finally found your cup. I think I found it on the porch. It's a green cup, right? Unenforceable. I'm in Florida, and I personally know 11 people, including my brother, who have had it, and all are fine. Not many people here seem worried or take it as seriously as they should. Well, first off, I'm glad they were fine. Like people say, and it's true, I don't reiterate it enough, most people recover. Most people don't get a serious version of it. However, with the spike coming right now, people are getting sick so fast. I don't even know what the statistics are on how many people are seriously ill from it. The hospitals are filling up, and I think it was NBC News reported an estimated 35,000 deaths in the next 3 weeks. That is more, that's a higher percentage, I think, than we've had thus far. I'm falling behind in these. Okay, I was able to fully participate in a few minutes, feeling guilty, be glad to be able to listen for an hour at least. Thank you, Chasing Life. Kids are carriers. Hello from the Adirondacks, laid out doing the things. Good job, EE. How's your weather? Sister Kate, I know you aren't being a hope dasher.
Are the Adirondacks the Jewish Alps?
No, that's the Poconos in the Pennsylvania. Adirondacks are just rugged mountain northern New York. My uncle had a cabin up there. I know you aren't being a hope dasher. I just worry about my wife. She's high risk, but we take every precaution we can. And
stay home.
That's the best we can do right now.
Stay home.
Stay home. Quarantining works 100% if you quarantine 100%. It is in the schools. My son's got it from there. Deb, how is your son doing? It is in some schools. I know people who their school has it. 2 people. Vitamin D levels and increased BMI are 2 key factors we are seeing with sick patients. See? Low vitamin D levels. And low vitamin D, well, Mike, you say, the way I understand it, low vitamin D can be from you never going outside. If you just stay inside all day long.
Yeah, we probably get enough vitamin D just being outside. But
right?
We drink a lot of milk and eat a lot of cheese, too.
Right? Fresh air and sunshine, but not everybody has access to fresh air and sunshine.
Everybody has access to fresh air and sunshine. They just don't avail themselves of it.
Well, if you're in the middle of downtown Manhattan,
you can go outside and get fresh air and sunshine if you want.
And risk getting it from other people and getting mugged and everything else. Yeah. You can drink vitamin D milk. You can eat cheese.
Vitamin D. That's
you can take vitamin D. You can eat vitamin D rich foods. Suzanne said the area under the curve does not change. The number of cases move to a later time, so it spreads out the workload on the medical system, resulting in more survival.
Flatten the curve.
Flatten the curve. My neighbor and her sister both passed from it 2 months ago, says Susan Bryant. Both within 2 weeks of each other. Governor Hare says we will not shut down. We will see. My older sister is in a full-time care facility. She got it and they quarantined her room, and 3 days later she was fine. She said it was like a bad cold. Good, Rick. She probably had the mild form. I'm actually happy for her. The Catskills are the Jewish Alps, says Frank Pecci. I thought it was the Poconos. Well, thank you. No cases in...
The Catskills where, who was that guy that slept for 100 years? Not Rumpelstiltskin. Who was the guy that slept forever?
20 years.
I think that was in the Catskills. Grew a big, long, white beard?
Right. I can't remember right now. Better, we are all in quarantine. He didn't have a fever with it. Good. Shalom, Bad Wabbit. Shalom, shalom.
I don't know that we told our kids that fairy tale or whatever.
Oh, I'm sure at least once. They were both morbidly obese, Susan Bryant said. Yep, see... I don't want to be a doom and gloomer. I'm not a hater.
Doom and gloomer hater?
But if you're morbidly obese, you have already stressed your body out to the limits of what it can do as far as your blood pressure, your heart beating, your blood flowing through your body, oxygenating all your organs the way it's supposed to. And if you then get COVID or flu, and
Rip Van Winkle.
That's the guy. And it affects your lungs capacity to generate the oxygen in your red blood cells, then you're starting off like trying to run a race with one foot tied. You know what I'm saying? It's just not a good situation. Mike says supplement with vitamin D3. Here in Washington State, Governor Snake has locked us down as of Monday. I take lots of precautions. Of the few times I emerge, he takes D, K2, zinc, and etc. Bad Wabbit said Rumpelstiltskin. It was not Rumpelstiltskin. You just said it. Rip Van Winkle. Mark Chase said. That's right. Rip Van Winkle. Shrek 9118 says, morning people from the woods of Pennsylvania. Good morning.
PA.
Still not many cases here, only 28, and all travel related. Absolutely none in my area since this started. Pharma, you picked a good place to be. Just flat out going to say that to you. Both my parents are both in good physical shape. They're just older, early 70s. Lynn, did they ever smoke? Have they ever had pneumonia, asthma, or COPD? Good old boonies. Okay, so the reason that I got online, now I want hard cider, says Okie Storm Chaser. Why, Okie? What? Oh, from Rip Van Winkle. I gotta move the perspective because my other hand's getting tired.
Make sure you don't cover up the microphone.
I don't think I am. You guys can hear me, right? My nephew had COVID and the doctors told him the lack of smell and taste is the key to diagnosis. It is, especially for young men, I've noticed. They tend to have that lack of smell. Someone else told me, general rule of thumb, fever first and a cough second is COVID, and a cough first and fever second is often the flu. I keep reading that you must take K2 and D3 or there's no point. What's K2?
It's a big mountain in Nepal.
Yeah, I know, but they're not talking about taking that.
You gotta climb the mountain, then take your medicine.
What is K2?
Potassium?
Is it potassium? My dad was a smoker for 35 years, but my mom is a breast cancer survivor. Potassium, somebody said. Potassium.
I said.
Keeping it real said, Governor Cooper here in North Carolina just said no more than 10 for Thanksgiving. With our kids and grands, we have 23.
Have a good Thanksgiving anyway. That's what I say.
They want us in family tables with masks on at all times except when eating. Now see, Pastor Joe is poo-pooing all of that. I say your response needs to be relative to the amount of threat in your area. If your entire 23-person family has been quarantining itself and nobody's had symptoms and, has been tested negative and things like that, then I wouldn't be concerned. Caution with the potassium, i.e. for your heart and kidney functions. K is for bone growth. Suzanne said, we had Thanksgiving with family anyway, Pharma said, but see, Pharma's in the middle of nowhere, boonies up in Canada with very few cases, so, right? I mean, it makes sense for you. I believe K2 is a synthetic marijuana? Hi, Jen said. You think you're going to take that to prevent COVID? I don't think so. I don't think that's what they're talking about, Kai Jen.
Don't you know hemp is the answer to everything?
Keeping it real. Don't listen to Cooper. Your family time is more important. I lost my son 2 months before Thanksgiving. You never know. Lamp Keeper, you lost your son? I did not know that. Holy shnikey. I'm terribly sorry. That's very upsetting. Vitamin K2, it comes in two forms, K1 and K2. I lost my sense of smell, had a skunky LGD, and barely noticed Aledwin. But Aledwin, you didn't have COVID, did you? Deborah says, love it when I catch a live stream. Yes, my youngest son died in a car accident when he was 18. Oh, that's so sad. I'm so sorry. 2 years ago. Wow. I'm keeping it small for Thanksgiving. I have an older family that is high risk and younger members that think the whole thing is a hoax. Right? Just be smart. Do the best you can.
With what you got where you're at.
I say if you want to get family together and anyone is high risk, sit down at the same time for dinner. Zoom call it. It will be different, but you'll all be together. I'm telling you, some people have done some very cute Zoom things. They really have. What's that guy's name who did 14 hours or 12 hours? He's in The Office too.
Oh.
John Krasinski. When he did he only did 6 or 8 Some Good News reports, and he got people together for a Zoom call. Like the one was an older couple getting married and got all their relatives on the different Zoom things, and they did the ceremony. I just thought that was really cute, so I actually kind of like that idea. Vitamin K also assists in blood clotting. That's right. That's the one you said. 8th day for little baby boys is at the highest. Yeah, it was my trial. Happened a little over a month after I was baptized. We've healed a lot. It doesn't hurt as much now, but I still miss him a lot. I would too, Lamb Keeper. I really would. I'd probably be a mess. My hair would probably be all white right now. Renee Henrik, Some Good News. They were good. Yeah, they were uplifting and cute. 13 hours. There you go. I had 12 and 14 for jawing. She's like 13. Right in the middle. We're keeping it small for Thanksgiving. We have 2 very high-risk relatives. For us, it's not worth the risk. Everything is prepped and ready to go. We will be holding it via FaceTime. There you go. It can be kind of fun. I work in retail management, so I dread the holidays. I'm sure it's swamped. Ugh. I'm back on my diet, so things as they are will limit temptation. Yeah, I'm telling you, I've been on the, what is it, intermittent fasting thing now for, what do you think, a month, maybe?
Yeah.
And I just, I can't really eat after 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And when I do, I feel sick. I feel sick all the way till the next morning. We're in the process of moving. I think we'll order out for Turkey Day this year, right? There you go. Or have turkey jerky with some gravy on it. No, I'm just kidding. Frank says there's a straw shortage here in Missouri. PJF called it in September. What's wrong with the straw in Missouri? Meat not being cut or something? Frank said you called it.
I don't remember. Hey.
If half of Africa is on the hydroxy regime and fine, why are we being denied it? Says Lives Outdoors. That's a good question, Lives Outdoors. I didn't know that half of Africa was on it, but I can tell you if they are, it's because they're...
I doubt half of Africa is on anything.
It's a malaria drug. It's anti-malaria drug. If half of Africa's on it, it's because they're trying to keep malaria at bay.
You think Africa overall's healthcare system is good enough that half of the people are taking the drug? I don't think they've got their act together.
I think you've probably got the countries that have their act together, and a higher percentage of them are than the ones who aren't, and that's why they're getting in half.
That could be.
High prices in Michigan too. Our son at Bragg is tested every 2 days. He would work 1 day, then be off for 2 weeks. Wow. Work 1 day, off for 2 weeks. Gives Airborne a new meeting. Laugh out loud. Says keeping it real. Been back on the fasting since it go. Back down the 10 plus 2. Good job, Pharma. Okay. Hay prices are high in Michigan too. We had a weird year in our area. We had some droughty time, so I don't know, but I think generally speaking that we've had too much hay in the past, so I don't know that we'd have a shortage this year. Vitamin K is in fermented foods. Eat your sauerkraut. And sauerkraut's yummy too. I'm back on keto. It is amazing how much better I feel. Sugar is poison. You get off it for a while and you know it. I'm still cooking Thanksgiving and just taking it up to my parents, right? That's another option, is just fix it, package it up, take it to whoever's house, leave it, let them disinfect the outside, bring it inside, and enjoy it. So the reason I actually did this live stream, now that we've talked for almost an hour, is because I experienced a very strange thing last night on Brother Chris's live stream. I was actually on 2 live streams last night, but the one, Wes S., I was only there for a very short while. Brother Chris's... Okay, Wessel, thank you. I will get back to you on that hay thing. Brother Chris's, well, Westhold was there last night too, and so was Brother Adams. Live streams, he used to do them every week, like Friday night and Saturday night, but he's started to do them, more intermittently. And he was talking about prepping last night and the vaccine. But there were several people on there, and I made a comment because there was a lady named Deborah, and she said she doesn't like Revelation, finds it scary or hard to understand. And so I had typed in a response to her that said, Pastor Joe just did a series on Revelation. I think it's pretty good. It's on Shofar Mountain at YouTube. And I sent that, and it disappeared. And so I didn't say anything about it right away, and I typed it again, and I tried to send it again, and it disappeared again. And then Brother Chris started talking about some other topic, and a couple other people commented on it, and one of them said, hey, my comment just disappeared. And then about 5 of us said, one of mine disappeared too. And so Brother Chris noticed that and said, you know, what's happening there? He had a bunch of moderators on his channel. And all of them said, we didn't do it. There's a huge flock of, that's probably Canadian geese out there.
Snow geese.
Or snow geese. He said, his moderator said they didn't delete any of them, and then somebody said it's the Google moderator. Has anybody heard of this? Google moderator?
It's probably AI.
And so Chris said, hey, Google moderator, I don't need you. I've got my own moderators. Leave my live stream alone. And he went on, and he got offline at about 8:30. And right before he got offline, I sent another one that was greetings to his wives, and said, you know, tell them blessings from me. And I sent that, and it disappeared too. So
have everybody send a comment that says bless you.
Yeah, why don't you all send a comment right now that says bless you, either to each other or me or pastor or whatever, and we'll see how many of yours get deleted, if any get deleted at all.
Maybe they're not moderating you.
Maybe I'm, yeah. Nobody's commented and 2 people have left. Are we still online, you guys? It says I am. Am I losing service? Can you hear me?
Google just DX'd you when you said that.
Can you guys still hear me? I see that there's 76 of you guys watching, 35 thumbs up. Did you hear me talk about the Google moderators and deleting posts? Can you send, all of y'all, comment, bless you, and send it either to each other or to me, and we'll see if Google eats them all up. Alright, it's been a whole minute since anybody commented.
I'm telling you, you said that Google DX'd you.
You think Google kicked me off? I may have to restart my whole live stream? Come on, one of you guys had to have heard what I just said, didn't you?
Can you tell if you're still streaming?
Normally, if I'm not streaming, it'll say, you know, problem streaming, and there'll be a little going around thing. Oh. Can you push the thumbs up? Can you guys hear that?
Is there anybody out there?
Normally, you guys, I can see all your comments. All right. Let me go to live chat. Maybe that's a difference.
They cut off the chat. That's from Frank on my text. They cut off your chat.
They cut off my chat. Wait a minute. I'm seeing 40 people. I'm still streaming. Ledwin Mayer said, "You are now breaking up," said Delona Clinton. Are you not seeing our comments? I didn't see any of your comments till just now. I moved it from top chat to live chat.
Yeah, you got to do live chat.
Cold More 402. I didn't disappear yet. Deborah said it's back on. Renee said chat breaking up. Love the Pink Floyd, someone said, breaking up. Pamela Hyde said bless you. Oh wow, still streaming. Chasing Life said there's a lot of bless yous. Yeah, something happened and we got back up. There's a bless you. Okay, Vienna Robbins said, okay, heard you all the time. Shadow banning. Too many awesome people in one spot. YouTube, how to shut it down. Bless you for the 3rd time, says Lampkeeper. Okay, I switched from top chat to live chat, and that might have been the thing. What's the situation? Okay, so I'm not sure why Google was interrupting Brother Chris's live stream. Have any of you all experienced that? Great revelation series on Shofar Mountain. Mike prepared AK said, yeah, I thought he did a pretty good job. And the lady's name was Deborah B.R. Oayles, Deborah Broyles or Boyles? Is it Deborah? Are you on here? Was that removed? No, Vienna. The service right now may not have been good, so it made it disconnected everybody, but we're still here. Buffering, switching chats mode shouldn't have made a difference. You were seeing everything before, said Lamekeeper. Yeah, it just stopped.
They're evil.
Keeping It Real says your revelation is so much better than Hal Lindsey. Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I also can't like any videos anymore, Lynn said. Why not, I wonder?
Dude,
Lots of believers censoring, especially on YouTube, Vajaling said. Do you know anyone else who got censored? When they took Do No Evil off their homepage, that was your sign.
They start.
Oh, here we are. Back. Changing Cell Towers does it. Okay. Mad Count, Norm, Suzanne, Shrek. I see all y'all. Wow, we're buffering badly. I commented on Google Moderator just now and it isn't showing. It said censors and you cut out
Do not
again.
question your overlords.
To Pastor Fox, I was one that needed to hear his sermon. I recently asked in an online forum about defining works. Basically keeping Torah. Sorry everyone, I broke it. Rachel, you broke the internet. I know who is censored much. Joe Imbriano, the Fullerton Informer, and Dana Ashley. Okay, there you go. Spinny Circle of Death, the Mad Cow. I don't get that. But Google Moderator's been removing a lot of comments on conservative. Watchwoman 65 is being censored. And so I'm wondering why.
Because they don't want your voice to be heard. They only want to put out one message. All of them. The whole thing.
Wow, I have 59 people watching and 59 thumbs up. You guys are awesome. But I can't see what would be so offensive about me recommending some sermons on YouTube.
We're not going to talk about God.
I've done it many times before.
Yeah, but they're getting more and more constrictive.
And then the other thing is, why would they censor a greeting to a brother or a sister?
Because it's light versus darkness, good versus evil.
That's what pastors say, and my response is SMH. Like, come on, man. I'm not saying. Right. Somebody said hello from Alaska. Greetings from Alaska, Rachel. Hello. You probably need a vehicle cell phone booster. Mike Prepared AK is a fellow Alaskan. Because the truth exposes the lie.
What part of Alaska?
What part of Alaska are you all in? Towers in high places and all that, says Westhold. Yeah, and all that. They sell an agenda like Nike sells shoes. I remember when they came out and everybody... I searched it last night after Brother Chris's stream. It stated that the Google moderator stopped in 2015, but I've witnessed that happen 3 times within the last week. And is that coincidental? Does that have anything at all to do with the votes, the elections,
It's the clampdown. They're getting ready for the reset.
Because I don't think it's related to the vid. I don't. If anything, I would think it would be related to and what people are saying about it. Because I know I've been slightly opinionated in my Twitter feed on what's been going on. Rachel is in Anchorage and Mike is in Wasilla. Mike, are you up there as a military person or you just live there?
Where are they at?
Wasilla and Anchorage.
Oh yeah, I know where Wasilla is.
Pastor knows where it is. PJ is right. They hate any dissension of talk of spiritual good. They want people isolated, says Bad Wabbit. Insurgency in action, says Norm. Beyond Israel is being censored, and they went to a new format. They don't want the message of Yah out there.
That's right.
That's entirely possible too. They could just be straight up Christians who think we're out there flapping.
Christians.
Mike's just living there. Reset is real. Hopefully it'll be 4 more years before it actually happens, though. Well, Zuckerberg and Dorsey are in the Senate hearing. Yeah, we heard a little bit of that, where Zuckerberg's like, I don't know.
I don't remember.
I don't remember a program like that in my
I don't
thing.
recall. That's the Oliver North defense. I don't recall. I'm a great American. I don't recall.
But Oliver North was doing good. Zuckerberg's just... Prior service. Alaska's where inlanders when we come out for my people. Well, you got a lot of natural resources there, brother. Just stay away from the brown bears. Ever thought of raising fish in an above-ground pool specifically set up just for fish? As an additional source of protein, asked Anthony Jensen. We have certainly talked about that.
We've done it. And then the heron came and ate them all.
And we did have some fish, but they were goldfish.
Yeah, but that's carp.
Yeah, carp's a bottom feeder. Goldfish are bottom feeders.
Yeah. But they have scales and fins. So
they do have scales and fins. That was sort of a nominal. We had a pool that really wasn't being used, and we tried it out. We also have our pond, and I have put some little feeder fish in there with the thought that if it holds more water, maybe we try, some bluegill. But yeah, a pond or a lake or a pool isn't absolutely, why not? Why not have that extra protein in there? It's a great idea. And the water is great fertilizer. Okay, Rachel's been there 20 years. What took you up there, Rachel? Okay, now we're losing you a bit. I am anyhow a lot of buffering and stuttering. I'm leaving my awful hotel Wi-Fi and going to data. Hopefully that helps. Brad Wabbit says they're lying through their teeth. Shrek remembers Oily North. We landed, not inlander. Okay, going to go have some rooster butter chicken. Shalom, guys. Have a good drive. Thank you.
It's probably a good time to sign off.
I can neither confirm or deny that fact. There's keeping it real. Bless you. Need running water. One thing these don't want people to recognize is the election pointed out that when you count the number of anti-Trump votes with the pro-Trump votes, their platform has little voter support. At some time, this Asian carp invasion may prove to be a blessing in disguise, says the Patriot farmer. Why? For extra food? My guardian dog just said hi, see ya, shalom. Back to work I go. Thanks for the great chat. I will, honey, but in a few minutes. They told me I was going to die. I figured I couldn't afford healthcare, so I wanted to be somewhere pretty. Figured out they were full of poop, so I better get on with doing the things. Well, good, Rachel. I'm glad you're still here. Shalom and safe travels. Hey, guys, we bought another parcel next to ours with a well. Now we have 2 wells. Yay! Food, fertilizer, high reproduction rates. There you go. As long as they're clean to eat, it could be. All right. Pastor's saying time to say shalom because we are getting into an area of poor service. Thank you for dropping in. Thank you for being awesome subscribers and commenters. And we will talk to you guys again soon. Shalom. Shalom. There we go. Shalom. Hugs. Thanks for now. Blessings. Shalom and blessings.